Jim Nance, along with Terry Bradshaw and Jim Gray and Andrea Joyce, welcoming you back to the final quarter of the Cotton Bowl. What a great week it's been for us to be back with our college football crew after a one-year hiatus. The many talented technicians and production people who have such a great affinity for college football, headed by Mike Burks and Joe Assetti. We start the final quarter, 2nd and 5, Florida State from the 30. And through the fingertips of Sean Jackson.
Ronald's pass intended for number 35, Sean Jackson, incomplete.
And let's check in right now with our sideline man, Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Jim, during the intermission for the end of the quarter there, the Florida State team gathered the offense over on the sidelines, and kind of sarcastically and facetiously, the Florida State coaches told them, hey, guys, our first goal now is just to hold on to the football. If we score, that's a bonus. Jim?
How about that as a goal? 3rd and 5. Good time for Weldon. Really looking long for Baker. Incomplete. Wow.
Thought he had it.
Yep. Marlon Haynes back there along with Kevin Smith defending.
To question the arm strength of Weldon, that ball covered 55 yards in the air. I don't think that's a problem.
Should this ball have been caught, Terry? They've had several passes this year that have...
That ball was right there, but coming on the outside is Errol Corby. Corby, number 26, and he stripped the hands down and knocked it out.
The pressure from the Aggies coming in on player. He gets it away to the 34 where it's downed. 34-yard punt, no return.
The punt is down at the 35-yard.
Again, the lineup on Saturday. CBS has divisional playoff action. The Falcons and the Redskins. The winner advances to the NFC Championship game. It all starts with the NFL today at 12 noon Eastern. Then UConn and Illinois. College hoops from Champaign. UConn ranked number 5 in the country. Let's check out the Huskies this Saturday. Rodney Thomas has come into the backfield, and he gets the carry and is pummeled right away.
Sterling Palmer coming in and putting a pretty good leg on him, and then I don't know what that celebration dance was, but top left of your screen, Sterling coming inside the block, gets inside. If you don't cut off inside pursuit, you're dead anyway. Now look at this. What is that, Jim? I think I saw you doing that last night, didn't I, at the deal over here?
Yeah, the Cotton Bowl ball. I had that move out on the dance floor. There's Bucky throwing on 2nd down and almost picked off. Corey Sawyer stepped in front.
Oh. Corey Sawyer and Corey Fuller, number 28, two kids that they say will be as good as or better than Dion and Terrell Buckley, but this is a poorly thrown ball, and you know, timing routes, man coverage, you just got to get that ball out there a little sooner. Bucky, as you can see what happens to him, once again, Sterling Palmer inside, and Richardson coming into this game has a bad shoulder, his right shoulder. He only takes about 1/3 of the practice time he normally takes on his right throwing arm, and some question his arm strength. He said he's fine.
3rd and 11. Let's call it 12. Aggies still have not converted on 3rd down the whole game.
There he is.
Give the sack to Simpson.
Carl Simpson, number 95. 11 sacks coming into the game today. Most of these defensive linemen for Florida State, that gives him 12 for the year.
He sacked Gino Torretta 3 times in that Miami game. Most sacks in a season for Florida State since '77, and Ron Simmons. Davis to Buckley from the 35. Hesitation move. And a short run back of 3 yards. Darrell Reed made the tackle. 41-yard punt. There is a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. Holding against Florida State.
Against Florida State, flag near the 25-yard line.
Holding on the receiving team on the kick
Looking at Bobby Bowden, you know he's got to be concerned. And I go back to that Miami game once again because I really believe that took the heart out of this football team. I really think they have not forgotten what happened in Tallahassee.
Weldon fakes, man in his face right away. An interception by A&M. Chris Crooms. His second pick of the day. Interception number 4 for Weldon.
Play action, just a bootleg outside, but it's doggone near a naked bootleg. No one there to help. And Casey just made a poor choice, threw the football out there. It was deflected, and this was an outstanding interception by Chris Crooms, number 6.
Bucky and the Aggies from the 16, first down. They run the option, late pitch to Thomas, and Fowler has a hold of him. Good play by Leon Fowler.
The pitch after number 20, Rodney Thomas.
This offense of Texas A&M, you're seeing it's a 3-version I, the sprint, and the counter, and the triple option out of the I. This will be the last time you see this offense at A&M under this quarterback. Bucky Richardson, when he graduates, A&M is going to the I. They'll stay in the I, but they'll feature Jeff Granger, their left-handed quarterback, or their other quarterbacks. They'll start throwing the football and have a balanced offense.
2nd and 12. And here comes some trickery that costs him again. Going to Wilbert Biggins, and Florida State collects the football. Turnover number 13 of the game. Dan Footman on the recovery.
You know, I got to think, I've played in conditions like this. Of course, I wasn't 17 or 18 years old either, but I got to think that sometimes these things happen out of lack of concentration. That's a good toss. Once again, it looks like they just take their eyes off of the football, wondering who is going to tackle them or where they're going to go with it. And in conditions like this, when you have bad weather, you have to concentrate harder than any other time.
Chris Crooms with the interception for the second time that had the Aggies set up to take the lead. But the Crooms interception matched by another Aggie turnover. Jackson switches hands with the football, looking for the stiff arm as he moves across the 30.
Hit by number 6, Chris Crooms.
Cotton Bowl record has been equal, 13 turnovers in a game.
Well, I think R.C. Slocum, if this game ends up as it is right now and he loses, I mean, it never has failed, but you look at those turnovers, and when you have 8, I tell you, if you have 8 turnovers, you just simply don't deserve to win a football game. Now, they might, but most times you just don't win.
Remember the Aggies of 42, 50 years ago. They committed 12 turnovers in the game. And a running play on 2nd and 6.
Oh, great running.
Sam Adams on the tackle of Sean Jackson.
Again, Sean Jackson clears.
Even with the 8 turnovers, Terry, one play, one pick, one crazy play, and you're in front.
Yeah, the score doesn't represent the turnovers, does it? I mean, it's still just 7-2, but gosh, how many times are you going to get the ball inside the 30-yard line with first down and then turn around and give it right back?
I'll tell you what this game reminds me of, a 7-3 game from 9 years ago when SMU played Pittsburgh.
Dan Marino, I believe his senior year.
Against an option wizard by the name of Lance McElhaney. And a timeout called by Weldon. Holded a flag down in the secondary.
Casey trying to beat the clock's what he was doing. Delay a game on the offense.
Yeah, SMU won that game 9 years ago today, 7-3, 38 degrees, light drizzle, same kind of day.
He's looking up. Look at Casey, look, he's doing his hands. He's calling it audible with his hands. Now he looks up and realizes the 25-second clock has expired. He tries to beat it with a timeout.
.10:40 remaining. Third and 7. Edgar Bennett. First time he's been able to break free today. And slashed by Coriat that prevented it from even going deeper down the field.
Quinn Coriat, 44. Keep your eye on. He is the rusher. He is designated rusher. He is a blitzer, but he's primarily rushing to stop the run. Well, he went in the wrong hole. Bennett went to the outside and got the first down. And when you talk about Bennett, scouts say the thing they like about him, he will be ideal in the pros in the one-back set, similar to what the Redskins do, because he's big enough to run it, but he has excellent hands.
First down, Florida State. Sean Jackson blockers in front. Jackson cuts back into A&M territory at the 42. Mancini and Morris. Good blocks.
Take a look at Dixon and Stevenson, the left guard. This is, whoops, clear that baby. This is your left guard here. This is, watch how they pull and get out and lead on the outside. This is excellent job. Not only that, by them, look, there they go. Number 60, that's Mike Morris. To the outside, Bennett seals back. And there's your run. You know, it's funny, but we were talking a while ago when they passed us these MVP things, and you and I were laughing, and this is a kid we came up with.
He's got 97 yards rushing. He's been the offensive star so far. Here he is going for 100, and he's about a yard short of that figure after gaining 2. Eric England on the hit. 9:20 to go. Florida State, a team that, well, Bobby Bowden said losing to Miami was like getting hit over the head with a hammer. And then losing to Florida was like getting hit over the head with a hammer a second time. But you feel the first one, but the second one you don't.
Yeah, it looks like right now he may be looking up at a hammer, but he's got a 7-2 lead, and his team is driving.
2nd and 8. Weldon to Baker. And the tackle by Smith at the 26. Florida State moves the chains again.
Rhythmic, you know, I watched that. That's good stuff. 5-step drop, get set, throws it out there. When it seems like when Casey's had to hold the ball today and look around to his second, third receiver, sometimes it's hard because you underestimate the speed of the secondary, and that costs you. And I think today that has cost him, because some of the passes he's thrown, I'm sure when he looks at this tape, he's just going to close his eyes and shut the projector off and want to go home.
We asked Edgar Bennett what kind of pass does Weldon throw, and he described it as crisp. But it hasn't been crisp today in these cool temperatures. Here's Bennett. About a yard. Mark Wheeler, the nose man for A&M, on the tackle.
They've got Mike Morris, who starts at right guard, over at left guard now, and Kevin Mancini at right tackle. Normally now Florida State would run at Kevin Mancini. He's the guy Bobby Bowden pointed to that has really hurt us the most in our offensive line, and they messed up by making Morris a tackle and kind of messed up 2 positions, but now they've flopped Morris to left guard.
2nd and 10. We're under 8 minutes now to go in the game at Dallas. Slot formation to the right. Sean Jackson to the left with Bennett in front. Coriat shakes off the block and makes the tackle.
Sean Jackson carries knocked out of bounds at the 20.
That puts Jackson over 123 carries for 104 yards.
You know what's kind of interesting? I pointed out Mike Morris to you, moving from right guard to left guard. But now they've taken Reggie Dixon and put him at right guard. You know what I think? I think the coaches upstairs have found something and realized that Morris would be better suited against one of the A&M blockers if they put him on the left side.
They've made the change, and thus they've moved the football.
Now they swapped them back.
Crossing up the Aggies, 3rd down and 3. Here comes the blitz. Weldon releases. The ball is caught but short of the first. Lonnie Johnson on the reception, and Eric England along with Teichelman stayed back to make sure he stayed short of the first. No gain on the play. Crooms was coming in on the blitz.
In a normal backfield situation, notice the back and the tight end delaying. What they're doing is allow these blitz guys to come through because they got that, once again, that old familiar middle screen setup. But against a blitz, a lot of times it just doesn't work.
Here's Jerry Thomas, the young man who missed by inches against Miami. This is a field goal attempt to give him an 8-point lead. 37 yards out. Thomas kick, no good. Thomas on the missed attempt. Mowry missed one earlier. 7-2 with under 7 minutes to go.
How in the world this young man could do, and now we're convinced without a doubt that that number 3 for Texas A&M, Frazier, coming across there, Patrick Frazier, got his hands on this ball and just enough to take it out and make it go to the left. Derek Frazier, that is. Once again, on the right side, notice Derek Frazier coming in, leaps out. Now look at the ball, how all of a sudden it starts just kind of woggling like a duck out there.
So number 3, Derek Frazier, takes 3 away from Jerry Thomas and the Seminoles. And a confirmation now from Jim Gray on the sidelines. It was indeed partially blocked. Carter, first down run of a yard. Not surprising that Frazier got a piece of that. He had 2 blocked field goals on the regular season.
Tell you what's happening here now, Jim, because now you're in this kind of a, you know, this is where you got to use the clock and use it wisely. And A&M, being the running team that they are, get back to the OKs. They've got to pick up some major yardage here and get out of 3rd and long. 3rd and long has not been good to the Aggies nor to the Florida State Seminoles. But if once again Florida State can force the Aggies into 3rd and long, then they're playing into their hands.
2nd down and 9. Fake to Hill. Richardson now with a flag down. It looks like holding against the Aggies. Richardson running it out of bounds past the 25-yard line.
On the feet, goes out of bounds. A flag down back near the 10-yard line.
Been a tough day for the 2 quarterbacks who finished 2nd and 3rd in the voting for the Davey O'Brien Award, the outstanding quarterback in college football. That honor went to Ty Detmer for the 2nd straight year. Weldon was 2nd in the voting, Richardson 3rd. Ty Detmer closing his career 2 nights ago with a tie.
You know, I go back, and once again, I just go back to the conditions. Harder on Bucky Richardson, I believe, than certainly on Casey Weldon. And the wind down there in that field coming across makes it very difficult. And now, after having a bad first half, the psyche of both quarterbacks is not the best in the world. They've got to be saying to themselves, I don't want to cause another mistake. I don't want to cause another turnover. But you're looking at the Aggies, and with 6 minutes left in this game, and they've got to go about 90-something yards. You know, now you got to take a chance.
Timeout called by A&M with 6 minutes and 1 second remaining. Leaves the Aggies with 2 timeouts. The Seminoles also have 2 timeouts to work with.
Timeout on the field is being charged to.
Holding penalty really backed up the Aggies to the 6-yard line, and now they're facing 3rd and 24.
Yeah, now this is a good decision. You get the ball, you get it to the outside, maybe pick up 10, maybe 12 yards, but you're throwing it away. You can see to the outside, therefore you eliminate really the interceptions. You either catch it or you don't, but they don't get it. They don't get they don't get 10 yards either, or 12 yards, and now you're looking at a lousy position to be in.
3rd and 24, and they go to the shotgun, Terry. Richardson avoids the sack and the safety and gets it back to the 5. Kirk Carruthers chased him.
pulled down at that point by number 45, Kurt Carruthers.
A year ago, Texas A&M set the all-time bowl record for any school with 65 points in the game. This one managing only 2. Davis's kick, a backward bounce, and touched at the 40. 35 yards on the punt, 5:17 to go in this one. Will Florida State hold on? Will the Seminoles rebound from the end of the season blues? We'll find out when we come back.
I want you to take a look at this young man right here. Well, this thing. Watch this gentleman. He goes all the way across and clean out of the pitcher. That's Brian Mitchell, number 18 for Texas A&M. Now, when he gets all the way across, instead of slowing down, he decides he'll just take it on out of bounds and leave the 10 remaining to see what they can do with the game. Had 11 on the field, misunderstanding, obviously, in the adjustments that were made, and Mitchell just carried it on out of bounds, left 10 guys out there, said, "The heck with you, I'll see you later."
10 on 11.
Buckley, you know, it was funny, though. Buckley ran all the way out with him. He said, "Heck with you, you're out of here."
5th time Florida State has had possession, taken possession in A&M territory. And here's Edgar Bennett. Nice shifty move. And Bennett's inside the 20. And quadruple teamed at the 17. That's a 23-yard run for Edgar Bennett.
Yeah, you look at runs like that against the defense, and you would have said earlier in the game that in the first 3 quarters there's no way that this run would have happened. You know, the emotions were high and A&M was still in it, but you got to believe that after a while, all the turnovers and the offense not being able to help you, that eventually a little bit of your enthusiasm, your emotion level, it drops down a little bit, and then you get caught off guard, and then bang, there it is, a 22-yarder.
Sean Jackson will try the left side. And only a yard. Coriat has him again. Those two could be in line for the outstanding players of the game for offense and defense. Jackson has been the shining star offensively. Would you say, Terry?
Yeah, well, without question, I think Sean Jackson
Coriat
for Florida State's had I don't know how many yards. You said, what, he's got over 100 yards now?
Yes, he's over 100. Coriat with 15 tackles on the other side. Second, we'll call it 9 from the 16. Approaching 4 minutes remaining. Jackson again. Oh. Steve Solari with a hit on the outside and a loss of 2.
You look at this defense. Steve Solari comes in and goes out. He switches up with Otis Neely, number 56. But Solari, another youngster, in and out of the lineup. They got so many of them. You think about all the freshmen and sophomores on this Aggie football team. You can only imagine, just imagine how good they're going to be next year, and they're the #1 defense in the nation this year.
For A&M to have a chance, they must stop here. 3rd and 11 with 3:20 to go. Open running room for Jackson, and he is hit at the 10, short of the first. Football in the middle of the field for a field goal try.
Here comes Thomas.
Yep, Bowden calls on Thomas. Jerry Thomas, he missed from 37 yards in his only attempt.
You know, this kid's an amazing story. He's had a good year. You know, everybody remembers Miami, but he was a walk-on at Florida State and got there and then got redshirted, of all things.
This is a 27-yard try. Thomas. Yes, this time. With 2:40 remaining. Florida State 10, Texas A&M 2. with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion could tie it, but showing no signs of moving the football at all against this rugged Florida State defense. The attendance 73,700. That's 1,600 over capacity. John Wimberly handles the kickoff chores for Florida State. Biggins, another freshman for the Aggies, trying to run it out of there. He loses the football. An A&M recovery. Cliff Gross. Derek Brooks knocked it loose. Gross on the recovery for A&M. Let's set the lineup tonight on CBS. Begins with the season premiere of Davis Rules, followed by Brooklyn Bridge. Then it's Jake and the Fat Man in 48 hours. That's tonight's lineup on CBS. Biggins fumbling that kick return. He fumbled earlier on a reverse attempt. Aggies just can't hold on to it. Now Bucky Richardson flushed out. And out of bounds. Tony Harrison was in the area. And a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
You're looking at the pressure.
Richardson's pass intended for number 18.
You're looking at the pressure placed on Bucky Richardson. You know, it's unusual that you see play action in an obvious passing situation, but everything that the A&M offense is based on the eye. And that's what they work on, is out of the eye. So far you have the play action, but very hard when you're a team that establishes the run to try to win the game with the pass.
Receiver downfield on the offense. Repeat first down.
You know, we haven't seen the swing and gate, have we?
That's probably all that's left in the bag now, or anything that you have an option of trying to gain yardage with.
I think you try anything. I really do. I think you try anything you have that might get you, you know, a big one. 15, 20 yarders. In this wet condition, someone slips and falls, you're back in this thing.
First and 15. Richardson pass knocked down. Dan Footman appeared to be the man who deflected it. Richardson's numbers now fall to 5 of 21 passing for 47 yards and 2 interceptions. Man who was 10th in the voting for the Heisman Trophy, Terrell Buckley, running on the other side of the ball right now, was 8th in the Heisman voting, and of course Casey Weldon was the runner-up. So 3 of the top 10 in the game. Second down and 15. 2:19 on the game clock. Harrison has it, and he's out of bounds near the 30.
Complete to number 23, Tony Harrison. He steps out of bounds.
You know, it's hard. You know what's happening is just so hard for an offense for the routes to develop, because by the time Richardson sets up, then he has to take off running. And I kept my eyes downfield, and it's happened all day long. Every time Bucky has gotten into trouble, his receivers have stopped running. And it's just converse. When he's in trouble, then you run to help him, run to give him an alley to throw to. And that just hasn't developed today for these young receivers and Bucky Richardson.
Third down, 5 to go. Here comes the pressure. No one in the area except for Leon Fowler. And fourth down, the Aggies will have to go for it with 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. You know, I think the folks down in Waco can relate to this Aggie point total today. Back in the '81 Classic, Alabama beat Baylor 30-2.
You know, so much pride is said in conferences, but I think Arkansas lost, did they not, to Georgia?
Yes, they did, and yesterday
Baylor lost, and the way this is looking, this could be the third Southwest Conference school to lose a bowl game.
This might be it for Bucky and the Aggies, unless he can pick up the first down. 4th and 5, and Terrell Buckley reaches in, knocks it down to make the play, and Florida State takes over on downs.
Tony Harrison, incomplete.
Yeah, you got to say to yourself, boy, if I'm going to try to get a first down, you know, I'm not going to pick on the world's greatest cornerback at intercepting passes. I think I would take that offense and go somewhere else with it.
2 minutes to go. A&M can stop it twice, stop the clock twice.
Thank you for your cooperation.
You know what's so strange about this game? I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, feeling there was something big about to happen, and nothing's ever exploded at all.
No, all we've seen is turnovers, and you know, so much was written and said about gadgets on both sides that you kind of sit here thinking, well, wait till this happens, but it just hasn't.
Sean Jackson bobbing and weaving to the 22.
And off to Sean Jackson.
Not even thinking about going near the sidelines. To the outside.
On the tackle, Eric Cleveland, number 92. And first cornerstone in the Fiesta Bowl.
119 yards for Sean Jackson rushing today. A&M can make a stop short of the first down. They'll use the timeout after this play. 2 receivers sent to the right side. Bennett the fullback, Jackson the tailback. 2nd down and 3, and Bennett inside, hit right at the line. Marcus Buckley for Texas A&M.
Hit at the 20.
Terry, they're not using the timeouts.
No, they're just letting them go.
Why?
I don't know why. I really don't know why.
Let
me just say this. The only thing I can say is that to be able to drive the length of the football, you have to be able to move the football, throwing the football. I mean, really running layered routes, guys medium, short, and long. And this offense isn't geared to come back throwing the football, and perhaps that is. You know, I don't know.
You got a chance. You got a chance.
Exactly.
You know, that's the way I feel. Here, 3rd and 1, and Bennett near the first. He falls near the first at the 19. Casey Weldon thinks he has it.
You know, the one thing that's really, once again, I applaud both these defensive teams, both defensive staff. I think it's just been outstanding. Once again, I go back. This is the first college game that I have been to, let alone broadcast, and I've never seen kids that look so much like professionals. I mean that. I mean, these kids are huge, they're quick, they're fast,